I stared at the door from the edge of the bed. The motel's wallpaper peeled in strips, pale yellow like nicotine-stained skin. My body still ached from loading furniture into strangers' trucks, from signing papers, from handing over our lives to creditors. Behind the door, a woman's voice, low, controlled. "Mr. Hale?" My hand hovered over the knob. Her silhouette through the peephole, dark coat, hair pinned back, no expression. Not my wife, not anyone from her family. I opened it a fraction. She slipped a card under the gap, white, no logo, just a name, Dana Kessler. She said only, "I think you deserve the truth." Then she left, heels fading down the corridor. I shut the door, locked it. The room felt colder than before. The card stayed on the table like a loaded weapon. I knew, without knowing why, that my night had just ended and something else, something older, had begun. 2 months earlier, my wife laughed in the courthouse hallway as she signed the final papers. "I want a real man now," she said, tossing the words like coins into a well. Her attorney smirked. She took half of what little I had left, full custody. I stood there, nodding once. No scene, no begging. Inside, I was still somewhere between her hospital bed, her hand in mine, tubes and monitors, and the pawnshop counter where I slid off my wedding ring. Every sacrifice had been a note in a song she no longer heard. After the divorce, her family disappeared. No visits, no calls. The children's voices became digital echoes on supervised video calls. She posted photos online, dinners, wine, a man's arm in the frame, but never his face. I told myself it was nothing, just moving on, just surviving. But then Dana Kessler's card sat on my motel table. And I realized something. People don't knock on a stranger's door at 2:14 a.m. unless there's a reason. The next morning, I called the number, straight to voicemail. I didn't leave a message. Instead, I began to watch. I created a new email, a false name. I followed my wife's public posts. I cross-referenced timestamps. I took screenshots. Her weekend retreats matched perfectly with hospital visits from 3 years ago. The man's arm reappeared. Same watch, same ring, same scar. I remembered a name she'd once mumbled in her sleep, Caleb, and searched it against her friends list. Nothing. Then, LinkedIn. There he was, oncologist, same city, same hospital. I ordered a paternity test kit online, sent it under another alias. The envelope arrived at the motel 3 days later. I took a swab from my son during my supervised visit, pretending it was a fun science game. At night, I replayed her laugh in the courthouse hallway. Not bitter, not triumphant, just casual. By the 5th day, I have enough fragments to see the outline of something rotten. The lab email arrived at 4:07 p.m. I didn't open it right away. I just stared at the subject line, results available. Then I clicked. My son, 0.0% probability of paternity. The room spun without moving. My hands stayed still on the keyboard. I printed the report at a library kiosk. The paper felt heavier than it should. That evening, I drove to her house. The same house I had sold everything to save, now repainted, new cars in the driveway. She opened the door wearing a dress I'd never seen. I handed her the envelope. "This came today," I said quietly. She opened it, eyes scanning. Her face cracked, then froze. "Where did you—" "I already know," I said. No yelling, no accusations. Just the two of us in the doorway, her holding the proof, me holding nothing. I withdrew a second document from my coat pocket. Custody motion. My attorney, paid quietly from a secret account I dealt during the cancer bills, had prepared it weeks ago, when suspicion first took root. "I've filed for custody of Lily," I said. "Your son isn't mine, but our daughter is, and the court will know everything." Her mouth opened, but no sound came. "You lied in the divorce filings," I continued. "Fraud void settlements. The money you took will come back." She stepped back as if the air had been pulled from the room. I didn't step inside. I didn't look at the boy playing on the carpet behind her. I simply turned, walked down the steps, and left her standing there with the paper fluttering in her hand like a dying bird. Back at the motel, I packed my bag, not hurriedly, methodically. The room felt different now, no longer a cell, but a staging ground. On the table, Dana Kessler's card still lay where I'd left it. I never called her back. I didn't need to. She had done her part. In the mirror, I looked at a man who had spent everything and found nothing. Until tonight. My reflection no longer trembled. I zipped the bag, turned off the light, and stepped into the hallway. Somewhere behind me, a woman who once called me her husband was realizing she had miscalculated. For the first time in years, I felt no weight in my hands. Only the steady, surgical satisfaction of a wound finally cauterized.